What's going on, everybody? Brian Power back here with you to talk the Pac-12 Championship game, where we've got an undefeated team in a Power 5 conference, and they're getting more than a touchdown against an opponent they already beat in the regular season. I, of course, am speaking of Washington, who is the first Pac-12 team since the conference expanded to 12 teams to finish the regular season unbeaten. First and last, as the Pac-12 is, of course, soon to disband, sadly, after this game. And what has that unbeaten regular season earned Washington? Well, looking at the wagertalk.com odds screen, like I said, the Huskies are anywhere from a 9 to 10 point underdog in what will be the final Pac-12 Conference Championship game. This despite the fact they already beat Friday's opponent, Oregon, 36-33 up in Seattle last month. Now, before I give my recommendation on what is the first big game of Conference Championship weekend, the first domino to fall, if you will, in the college playoff puzzle, allow me to inform you that you could take $15 off any 3-day pass at WagerTalk or Sports Memo by using the coupon code 15off3 at checkout. That's 15OFF3. Normally, a 3-day all-access pass would cost you $69. Here, you take $59 off. You do the math right there. That would be $54, and it gets you access to every single play a capper releases over that 3-day span. Perhaps I'm a little biased, but it'd be a great time to get on board with me, considering I've not only won 13 of the last 17 days overall, but just cashed my 5% NFL max bet. That was Bills plus 3.5 on Sunday. I'm number 1 in NBA this season, number 1 in soccer ROI this season, 11-5 my last 16 NFL selections, 15-9-2 last 26 in college hoops. And bringing it back to college football, I went 4-1 this past Saturday and was 67% last year in the Bulls if you're looking ahead. Okay, back to what promises to be one of the most highly anticipated games of the weekend, that being Oregon versus Washington. Winner of this game almost certainly going to be in the college football playoffs. Certainly if Washington wins, they are a lock to be in the top 4. But like I said earlier, the Huskies are catching more than a touchdown Friday in Las Vegas. And while they beat Oregon 36-33 up in Seattle last month, that game certainly could have gone either way. Ducks head coach Dan Lanning had the lead, and late he elected to try to convert a 4th and short. His offense failed, and Washington would then drive down the field for the game-winning touchdown. Since losing that game, which is their only loss of the season, Oregon has won 6 straight by an average of 26 points per game. They just crushed rival Oregon State 31-7 last weekend. That's an Oregon State team Washington struggled to beat 2 weeks ago, 22-20, though the Huskies had to go to Corvallis. But close calls have been commonplace for this Washington team. We all know that. Saturday's 24-21 win over Washington State in the Apple Cup marked the 6th victory this year for Washington by 8 points or less. The team's only conference win this year by more than 10 points was against Cal. I believe that was their first conference opener. And that was a situation where the Huskies opened with 2 non-offensive touchdowns, a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown. Washington has been outgained now 5 times in conference play, not just in the win by over Oregon, and they were outgained in that game by over 100 yards, but they were outgained by Arizona State. They were outgained by Stanford, outgained by Oregon State, and by Washington State as well. Yes, quarterback Bo Nix, who is 2 years older than C.J. Stroud, oh, by the way, has been sensational with a 37-2 touchdown to interception ratio this season. But as well as Nix and Oregon are playing this season, I do have to say it is hard for me to lay this many points against an unbeaten team, even one that has been winning close and living dangerously like Washington. If anything, I would think Washington is due, quote-unquote, to lose a close game. And perhaps that is what happens Friday in Vegas. So what should we do here? How about playing Washington under its team total? Based on the spread and game total, that number should come in right around 28. The last 2 weeks, the Huskies have scored 22 and 24 points only. They managed only 15 earlier this year against Arizona State, and that was with the defensive touchdown. Oregon's defense, much better than people realize, allowing just 15.9 points per game. Certainly better than the two defenses we just saw hold Washington in check the last 2 weeks. Yes, the Ducks did give up 36 the first time they played Washington. Again, that was in Seattle, and that last TD arguably should not have happened if Oregon just punts the ball away or converts the fourth down. Quarterback Michael Penix for Washington. He was not good in the Apple Cup, going just 18 of 33 for 204 yards. And again, that's not exactly a great Wazoo defense. Oregon has one of the better defenses in the country. I think they can hold Washington under 28 points in the Pac-12 Championship game, and that's how I would look to play it. You can find me on X, by the way, that's formerly Twitter, at BrianPower_wins. Remember that coupon code I talked about, 15 off 3, 150FF3. That saves you $15 off the price of a 3-day all-access pass. Again, normally priced at $69. Head on over to wt.buzz/BP right away. And if you're looking for more conference championship previews, go ahead, click this next video.